Hi everybody, welcome to our YouTube channel. It's another hot, sweaty day here in Coachella Valley, Palm Desert, California, and I'm going to take my first cutting on this San Pedro cactus. So I bought this mama plant from a San Pedro grower. His niche was growing all sorts of really neat medicinal San Pedro. This is Passionoi Nuestra Bonita. I don't know exactly the genetics, but I know that it is really good for medicinal, or like there's really great medicinal purposes compared to say just the standard Passionoi San Pedro. This beautiful new growth that popped out of one of these existing areoles. So I know I mentioned this in previous videos, but these areoles are like magnificent. They shoot their flowers. Once the flowers are pollinated, they leave behind their fruit. Or if it's on a sunny spot when they want to continue their growth, in the case where this one, where the top growth was cut off, so this mama plant was no longer able to grow upward because it was cut. So then it shoots new growths out of the areole. So that's exactly what this one did here. In preparation for this cutting, 1% peroxide solution. On a previous video, I went into that more in depth, but just for a quick little summary, I use 12% peroxide, which is, in my opinion, you get more bang for your buck. It's more concentrated. You'll mix 1 part hydrogen peroxide 12% with 11 parts water. So I have 11 ounces of water, filtered reverse osmosis water, with 1 ounce of this. That is going to give great disinfecting action, and also is going to help the cutting and the mama scab up so that they both don't get diseased and they both live, so that you could successfully turn this one specimen into 2 specimens. You could take this one plant that currently has 1 consciousness, separate it, and they become 2 conscious individuals. That's fascinating to me. I love that. So I'm going to spray around where I'm going to make the cut. I'm going to take the cutting right at this junction. Get it nice and clean, and you'll see the peroxide starting to foam up. Again, always sterilize your tools. This was previously washed with soap and water in the kitchen. Wash in between cuttings, so you do not spread disease from one plant to another. Disease, bacteria, any microorganism that can make the plant sick. And the point of that is we want to make this sustainable. Like when we take a cutting from the mama, I never want to make the mama sick, because this mama plant is going to be here and is going to give many offspring. These are all the mama plants here. You can see all these cuttings. 95% of these are cuttings. There's just a couple odd ones, like this one that I got from a cactus grower, 2 other of those big San Pedro I got from a cactus grower. And I plan to take cuttings on these for years and to spread and to give these cactus as gift, to spread them throughout the garden. So you want to be careful not to cut too deep into the mama right at the junction, and same with the cutting. You could use a cactus glove, but this cactus is fairly friendly. When you get some crazy cactus, then that's where that cactus gloves come in handy. On a previous video, I took a cutting of a Cereus peruvianus Montrose variety, and oh boy, you need a cactus glove for that variety. I enjoy gloves on that variety. I guess you don't need it, but that's one of the few varieties where I put a cactus glove on. That and nopales. Nopales could be nasty, especially with those little micro areolae, the microthorns. Right now I'm cutting through the bony section. The bony section gets a little tricky to say the least. Sometimes when you get in the bony, if it's really hard, you could put a lot of pressure on the knife. Just put a downward motion. Oops. Uh-oh. Sorry, Mama. Kind of cut through her a little bit. So this is going to be an experiment now. I cut in the mama and cut that cutting, but now it's going to be an experiment to see if we properly sterilize that, if we can get her to help her heal that instead of losing that part of her skin. So that is cut. I'm going to clean up this cut in a moment, and then I'm going to set it down, facing down, and I'm going to put it in the shade and leave it there for 3 weeks to properly scab, or however long it takes to properly scab. You can see how this is foaming up, just like when we apply peroxide. That's oxidizing and killing any biological organisms, yeast, bacteria. Now to help the mama. Sorry, Mama. That's foaming up. So like I said, it's a hot day. My camera overheated. So I went and got this landscaping tie, stretchable, flexible. I tied it around to squeeze the two bits of cactus that got separated together. I sprayed some more peroxide into an experiment. We'll see how it's going to go. But as for this, to clean this up, I'm just going to clean up any little bit of extra. It's a nice clean cut. So any tissue that may die and rot, you want to alleviate that. And well, I do. This is my personal preference anyways. I feel like if it's clean, we don't want to leave extra flesh after surgery. We want to have it nice and clean so it can heal itself nicely. So that is clean, that is cut, that is sterilized. This is starting to foam up from the 1% peroxide solution. Leave it like this for 3 weeks until this is completely scabbed up. After this is completely scabbed up, we'll plant this in some dirt, dry dirt. Plant this in some dry dirt and don't water for a month, 3 weeks to a month, to allow that dirt to suck up any residual moisture and to help scab this even further. After about a month, then I'll water it completely, soak the soil. Then I won't water it again until all of that soil is bone dry. At least a month. Let it dry at least a month. And that's here in the summer. If it's winter, go longer. That soil is nice and moist. We want to reenact the watering of the desert's natural watering cycle. Think about how often it rains in the desert. Here, no more than 10 times a year. So I'm watering these every 5 weeks or so. That's it. We'll have a follow-up video on this cutting and the other Montrose cutting that I took in a previous video. Thank you. If you like what you see, please subscribe to this video. And we'll have plenty more videos on how to replicate plants for free. Fruit and medicinal plants. So you can buy one mother plant and turn it into 100 plants if you want over time.